Well, hello, everybody. I know it's a Sunday and I'm hitting all my social media outlets. Um, I know y'all probably busy, and that's fine. I'm coming on to talk about a couple of things that's going on. And as everybody know, and you know me, I'm always involved in something. And right now, there's a campaign going on for water in Statesville. And if you would like to be a part of that, you can call 773-858-4453 and become a part of that campaign to provide water to the inmates in Statesville. And some people might say, why would you want to provide water to inmates in Statesville? And I rebuttal that and say they are still human beings and they still need water, whether they are guilty or innocent. They still should be provided the necessities they need to survive. So there's a campaign going on for water in Statesville. The other thing I want to talk about quickly is there's a community recovery hope walk. I posted it on my page. I posted on all my outlets pretty much. And that will be September 25th at 10 o'clock. It's called recovery. Uh-oh. It's called Coalition for Recovery in recognition of Recovery Month. They're doing a kickoff at the Golden Dome, which will be at 100 North Central Park Avenue, and then they're going to conclude at Douglas Park in Grove 4. And somebody might say that, I'm not an addict, I'm not an alcoholic. Well, recovery does not define you being an addict. Recovery does not define you being an alcoholic. You could have some traumatic experience. You can have been in an abusive relationship. Somebody's recovering from something. Financial overload where you like to gamble, you're recovering from something. A shopping addiction, whatever it may be, you're recovering from something. So they have various organizations that is going to be in the park on Saturday, September 25th. The walk will start at 10 o'clock from the Golden Dome, and most likely they'll get to Douglas Park around 12 noonish. And in that park, they have rally festivals, food, speakers, music, and services. So if you know of anyone who need any services, and maybe they are addicted and maybe they need to detox, there are going to be organizations on site that will be able to assist anyone who has an addiction and who would like to get help for that addiction. That means they're going to put you in detox, or if you need somewhere to stay, single mothers, mother with kids, whatever your needs may be, they're going to have gently used clothes out there to give away on September 25th at Douglas Park. Now, if you want to be a part of the walk, then meet them at the Golden Dome, 104th North Central Park, at around 9 o'clock and 9:30 on the 25th at the Golden Dome. And to add to that, let me say this. If we as a race of people are going to make a change, and I just told somebody this today, we're going to have to step up outside our comfort zone, and we're going to have to speak up. It's going to take more than one, two, three, four, five people to make a difference. We all play a part. Don't let our part just manifest itself on the day of election. Our voices are important way before election get here. We need to know who's represent us as people. How will they represent us? What if they're putting forth our agenda to make our communities better? And if that's not happening, then we need to make sure that we call our elected officials and let them know. We can no longer sit behind closed doors and continue to fuss and complain about the conditions of our community, what's being done to us, and we don't do nothing about it. Now, I just told somebody this today. It only becomes important, whatever the need is, when it hits our front door. Long as it don't touch us, we don't worry, we don't care, we don't give thought to it. But soon as something happens and it hits our front door, then that need becomes important. But what I'm saying to you all, across all the streams that I'm using, we should not wait until something happens to our family members, to our friends, or whoever we love the most before we decide to make a difference. Bottom line, we should not do that. Do that make sense? We should not wait till our children get in trouble before we feel there's a need to do something different. We should check up on our school system. We should check up on how they're doing things in our school system. We need to make our presence known, whatever it is. If we want to have things that's better, we want to change the perspective, we want to change the narrative, then we have to step up to the plate and make sure that happens. That's only fair. We cannot continue to expect somebody else to do the legwork for us. And we cannot continue to blame the system for things that we should do ourselves. And what I want to say is, we as women, we are the strong part to this equation. We carry a lot of weight and our voice weighs heavily when we come together. We've shown that in the Women's March not too long ago. So we can come together, we can make a difference. We don't have to wait on anybody else. See, we're going to have to think about protecting our future of our children, how things turn out. Our neighborhoods suffer because we don't speak up, some of us. We don't exercise our voice and we keep recycling the same people in the same seat. If you want to see change happen, we're going to have to make sure that change takes place. And that means that we have to step up to the plate and become a part of the solution. We already are aware there is a problem, but we need to become a part of solution. And when I post encouraging things across, I post educational things, I post things that's happening in our areas when I get this information. But I want us to come together as a unit, because together, not just one or two, but together we all can make a difference. Every last one of us. And we need to think about the people who we place in those seats. That's where it starts. Um, and not just on the presidential level. We're talking about local levels as well. So let us become more involved in what's going on around us, helping heal our neighborhoods and our communities, because it does make a difference. It makes a big difference. Yes, it does. And so I'm speaking for those. My son is deceased, but I'm speaking up for every child that's lacking. And we should speak up for children that's lacking. We know there are problems. We know crime is high. We know sex trafficking is still going on. Be aware of that. We need to teach our young ladies, teach our children how to be aware of their surroundings. We need to get back to teaching our children not to talk to strangers. We need to learn how to monitor their internet, web activity, all that stuff, their phone activity. Parents, you need to be nosy. You are the parent. You are the parent. And there's no such thing as a child in your house and put a sign on the door, knock before you enter. No, that don't work. I'm the parent and you are the child. I don't have to knock before I enter, because let's be realistic, it's your house. You pay all the bills. So you can open whatever door you want to open because you are the parent. So if we want to get our communities back and get back to where we need to be, we're going to have to step up and do what parents should do. Now, chastising kids, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not advertising beat them, but I say chastise them. If they get out of line and being disrespectful, you need to gain control of your household, because most of our problems start from the home. And I understand that, we're in a time that anything goes, pretty much. We see it on TV, you know, Anything goes, but you're the responsible of your household. You are the parent of that child. You should not have to wait till or ask for the police to chastise your child, and or do them wrong, and then you know they're going the wrong way, and then you get on the news and act like you don't know that your child was mischievous and doing all kinds of stuff. Now you're acting innocent like you didn't know when you were very much aware of how your child was. So let's keep it 100 and let's be realistic here. uh when kids bring things in the house and you know they don't have no form of income, and they walk in the door with a fresh new pair of Michael Jordan gym shoes, they're not a part of no organization where they're donating shoes, but they come in the house with all these goody microwaves and TVs and new cell phones, and they ain't got no job nowhere to be found. So 9 times out of 10, you know, when that's happening, pretty much is gotten illegally, and then we need to stop accepting those things. So we can cut off a lot of things at the path if we want to, but we're gonna have to gain control of our households again, gain control of our children. If we're going to change something, yes, crime is out of control, but nobody is pushing the park district to light up the parks neither. See, wherever there's darkness, then crime will reside. If there's abandoned buildings on your block, crime will reside. That's where it will take place at. So you have aldermen. Call your alderman's office and let them know you have abandoned buildings on your block. They need to do something with those buildings. Tell them you want the park lights to stay on. You can push for things. You are a voting constituent. And I want to make this clear to everybody who's listening, even if you listen to replay. Every elected official that sits in the seat is your employee. And you, as the registered voter, is the employer. Remember that. What you say should matter. What you say they should work on doing. Bottom line. No ifs, ands, or buts. But we don't push a lot of things because a lot of us have lost faith. We have lost hope in the system in which we call fair. And like I say, we call it the United States, but are we really united? We call it the land of the free, but are we really free? Think about that. I want you all to think about that. When you look at statistical data for especially the state of Illinois, the prison system, 90.9% in there are black and brown. And 50% of those individuals are innocent. Now, I'm not saying that there's no such thing as people committing crime, but there is. But what we have to understand, circumstances and situations will force people to survive by any means necessary. So if you take everything from an individual who has worked for everything they have, you take their house, you take their property, you take their financial, their legal financial ways of taking care of themselves, and you leave them with nothing. Guess what they're going to do? That means that you have bagged them in a corner, and now they're going to come out in survival mode by any means necessary. And some situations that these kids are end up in certain organizations is because they left home alone without anyone to monitor their ins and out, their leaving and their coming ins. So we have to take ownership. It's not it takes a village, and we need to get back to understand that it takes a village and for us to get better. And it takes us speaking up for us. We don't have to wait for nobody else to speak up for us. We can truly speak up for ourselves. And touching on what we're dealing with right now, I know a lot of people don't like to wear masks, but I'm going to say this. Wear them. Make sure you wash your hands. Some people ain't just started being nasty. They've been nasty all the time. But because we'll be sitting in, we're just realizing how people are. And for those mothers who have kids outside, Don't let them lay on the ground with their hands down there, rubbing. Do you know there are germs on the ground? Then I seen them, they don't wash the kids' hand. They try and put them in their mouth, and then you wonder how they get sick, and you wonder how the germs get in your house. This is how. So, again, there is a campaign going on for water in Statesville, and there is a community recovery hope walk that is taking place on Saturday, September 25th at 10 o'clock. The kickoff is at Golden Dome at 100 North Central Park. It will conclude at Douglas Park, 1400 South California, in Grove 4. Let's be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. We can make a difference if we just continue to stick together. If we learn how to stick together, learn how to be encouraging to one another, learn how to be uplifting, and most of all, let us learn how to support each other. We support others, but we won't support our own. And I know the saying goes, we can't support us because we don't do right. They don't do right neither, but y'all still support them anyway. Fair? That's fair. Take care of home first, and then you can step outside. There's a lot of people out here that do conduct business the right way. So we need to learn how to be more supportive to one another, more encouraging, and more uplifting. All right. So don't forget again, the flyer. If you want to sign up and participate, you can call New Age Services at 773-542-1150. Ashanti Residential 773-379-6981. Danny Davis office and Outside the Wall Ministry. Um, Reverend Andre Johnson is the creator, the CEO of Outside the Wall Ministries. He's been doing this for a number of years. So let's be supportive in recovery, and not just about drug addiction, not about just about alcohol. We all are recovering from something, whether we want to admit it or not. That's all I'm saying. All right. So, as you all know, I'm always going to provide information, and I'm going to provide update, and I always have my hands in a lot of things. There are going to be some roundtables coming as it relates to prison reform. And then I'll be letting you know when those roundtables are going to occur. And also, there is going to be a prayer vigil, and we're going to be reaching out or asking those mothers who have had children that's been in the system, still in the system, out of the system. We're going to come together so we can be of support, and we can create a movement to kind of help um, navigate through what they deal with having children inside of these institutions. All right. All right, so that's all I had to say today. Hopefully, you all have a good evening. Until we talk again, enjoy.